DLC Singapore has been officially confirmed to be on 29 November 2025. So over here in Singapore, many shops have been doing post-rotation formats for their casual tournaments. And I'm a big fan of this move because with so little post-rotation decks to refer to, many people have been very creative with their deck building. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I approach deck building from scratch. From the resources I check, how I decide on the ink color, the curve structure, how many inkables I should put, and all other information that you need to build your own deck. First off, why build from scratch instead of net decking? Well, to start off, there aren't many post-rotation decks online for you to refer to. Many people are waiting to see what cards are in set 9 before they decide on what decks to build and play post-rotation. But players here in Southeast Asia are in a unique position whereby most players haven't been playing sets 1 to 7 and don't want to buy cards that might rotate after set 9. So this set 5 to 8 format is somewhat unique to players here in Southeast Asia, which I feel is a good thing because creating a deck from scratch allows you to understand card interactions better, and when you tweak your deck, be it your own creation or you see a deck online and you want to make tweaks, it will be easier for you. So here are some of the resources I use to build my decks. First up, dreamborn.inc. For building and saving deck lists, it is one of the best resources out there. Lorcana.gg also has many articles about the metagame and has a deck builder for you to use as well. There are many Discord groups and local community groups to check what people are testing and what decks are popular. The Lorcana app is also a great tool where you can look at cards on the go and generate ideas for your decks. So the first step to deck building is deciding what colors you want to play or what cards you want to play around. Some people like aggro, some people like hand control aka discard, and some people like board control. Pick your style. For myself, I want at least one Mickey Mouse card in all my decks, so that is where I will start off with. Okay, so I am at the dreamborn.inc builder, so I want to build my deck around Mickey Mouse cards. So I have to search Mickey Mouse and then I go to the filter because we are building a post-rotation deck, so we want to go, where is it, sets 5 to 8. Okay, so these are the 4 sets we are looking at. So we do have very limited options, so it's only Ruby and Steel, but there are many decks that we can build with just these cards. So Mickey Mouse Pirate Captain, no, can we enlarge it? No, you can read it off from here. I'll put it up on the screen. So Mickey Mouse Pirate Captain, for this you will have to build a Ruby something pirate deck. So there is the Ruby Steel or Ruby Emerald, but pirates have not been really that good, so I'm gonna skip it. So there is a locations deck with Mickey Mouse, so whenever this character is at a location, he gets 2 strength, additional 2 strength rather. So there is a speed Sugar Rush Speedway deck whereby you don't have to pay any cost to enter that location. So the start line, Sugar Rush Speedway start line. So this is an automatic 4/4 or with 3 costs and it's inkable. So but that is not, I did have a deck built around it, but that is not what I'll feature in this video. Maybe I'll just post a deck list because I did build the deck and I tried it. It's not that consistent and there are many uninkables, but I'll put up a deck list over there in the end of the video, right? Okay, so there is a synergy over here with Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse, but it's not that strong. So the one I'm looking at is this 10 cost Mickey Mouse, Giant Mouse. It's a bodyguard 10/10, quests for 5, and when this character is banished, deal 5 damage to each opposing character. 10 cost is a lot, but the goal of this deck is to bring him out without spending 10 ink, right? So one of which is using this Mickey Mouse Inspirational Warrior. So during your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character for free. So 1/1, you are hardly banishing anyone, but you have other cards to help you along the way. So that is the direction I will go to for this video. So of course we start off with putting 4 of these and 4 of these. So 8 uninkables from the start. So once I decided on steel, right? So this is, I'll definitely have steel in this deck. Then what do I want to pair steel with? Right, definitely I'm not a big fan of ruby steel because there is a lack of draw power, and I want to add damage onto this Mickey Mouse, the 2 cost Mickey Mouse, right? So there are a few options actually. One is you use blue support, so support whenever that the character with support quests, you add the attack power, you add the strength rather to this Mickey Mouse, and this Mickey Mouse will have enough strength to banish another character. Or we can use Emerald. Emerald has card draw power and it can add damage as well. No, it cannot add damage, but it can prevent your opponent from playing. Okay, so or you can use purple. Purple has cards that challenger. Add challenger. What's the action card? Let me find the action card. The one with the, where is it? Type action. Okay. So we can build around Hypnotic Strength, Challenger +2, and what else is there? Yeah, Challenger +2, Forest Duel, but we want it quick, right? So long story short, I decided on Emerald Steel because we do want draw power, and I'm expecting a lot of aggro decks in Singapore, because aggro is very strong after rotation. So for set 5 to 8, there isn't a lot of removal, so aggro decks are very rampant. So that is the color combi I have in mind for this video. I will be having anti-aggro mentality for building this deck, right? Okay, so after that is about finding out what cards fit in the format. So I don't want to bore you guys with reading every card possible in this combination. So I'll just go to the cards that I added to shortlisted first, then how I got rid of the cards. So I want to build a deck around making your opponent's characters have reckless or they can't quest, and at the same time have draw power, right? Because steel doesn't have much draw power, and so I want more draw power out of my emerald cards. So first up, Louis is a 4-off because it gives yeah, we can do this. So it gives your opponents reckless and they have to attack into Louis if Louis is the only exerted character. So once you give your opponent's character, especially for aggro, if you give them reckless, they have to hit onto your characters and they can't quest. So Chip is a card that for my first draft of the deck, I didn't have it, but it's something that I will look into, so I'm just going to put it there. So you just put, my style is I'll usually have a lot of cards, more than 60 cards in my short list, and then I'll just slowly eliminate them. Okay, so Rapunzel is a good card to add in as well, but I didn't put it in, right? So long story short, so you will find out that you want a lot of cards inside the deck, and then you have to eliminate them. So I'll show you later how I eliminate the cards that I do want in the deck, but you have to prioritize, right? So this deck is about bringing out the 10 cost Mickey as soon as possible, and that is where the Return of Hercules comes in. You need a 4-off. So each Return of Hercules, each player may reveal a character card from their hand and play for free. So that is where you can summon out a 10 cost Mickey with just 5 ink. Unfortunately, your opponent does the same as well, but there aren't straight out removal cards from sets 5 to 8, so you are not afraid of you putting down Mickey and then putting down a 7 cost Hades to remove your Mickey, so we should be fine. And then Jasmine gives Reckless to one of your opponent's characters. Where is it? Yep. So this is also an anti-aggro. You will see the shift line later. So even the pre-shift card, you can give Reckless to one of your opponent's characters, right? So Fred is another card that I shortlisted, but I took it out after that, but I'll just put it in. Very good 1-cost character. Whenever it's challenged, you gain 2 lore, and if your opponent has Reckless, and this is your only exerted character, they have to attack it, and you gain 2 lore. Okay, so what are the other cards then? Yep, this is the other Jasmine. So the 6-cost Jasmine. So if you play this character and you use Shift to play her, return all other exerted characters to their player's hands. Okay, so of course you don't want to exert your own characters before shifting. You want to shift onto this Jasmine, return all your opponent's exerted characters to their hands, and then you exert your characters. Okay, so Peter Pan is a good card that I shortlisted. While this character is exerted, each opposing player can't gain lore unless one of their characters has challenge distance. So you're forcing at least one of their characters to challenge. It's like giving Reckless to one character without actually giving them Reckless. Then this 5-cost Goofy is really good. Where is it? 5-cost Goofy. It has ward quests for 3, and whenever this character quests, chosen character gets ward until the start of your next turn. Okay, and then Heffalumps and Woozles is very good against aggro. So, and it's a song. So chosen opponent character can't quest during that next turn, and you get to draw a card. Very useful. This is your draw support, right? Okay, and yeah. So this location is also good, but it didn't make it to the final cut. Okay, of course I had the deck ready so that I can explain to you why I took this out. Whenever a character is challenged while here, each opponent chooses and discards a card. So there are 2 ways to build this deck. You can either discard your opponent's hand and then Return of Hercules to summon your characters while making sure that your opponent doesn't have any cards in their hand, or you can go to what is more similar to my final build, where I go for more draw power and consistency so that I can get my 10-cost Mickey out as often as possible. And then this Clarabelle shift line is my main draw support rather. So for those who don't know, this Clarabelle, at the end of your turn, if chosen opponent has more cards than you may draw until you have the same number of hand cards. So on turn 5 ink turn, sorry about that, you want to shift onto this Clarabelle and then you draw. Or if you have Return of Hercules and you don't have 10-cost Mickey, in your hand, you can summon that out as well. Mother Gothel, him not. So this is another card that I add in. Night Howler Rage. You can draw a card, which is what we want. Chosen character gains Reckless during their next turn. So you are giving a lot of Reckless to your opponent's characters, forcing them to hit onto you, and that is how you control the board. Okay, so we are done with the Emerald cards, so on to the Steel cards now. So you want Bodyguards, right? So there isn't a 10 cost Mickey is already here, and this Namari is something I'm looking at as well, but I have taken it away. It's in another build, version 2 of this build. Different strategy, but I might turn to this build, whereby you discard a lot of cards and then Namari gains you a lot of attack power. So Jaffa is the one card that I am looking at to power up my 2 cost Mickey. Whenever you play this character, chosen character gains Challenger +2 this turn. So your Inspirational Warrior gets to treat 1, which can eliminate some early threats. So you turn 2 Mickey Mouse ideally and turn 3 Jaffa but usually your opponent wouldn't exert any character if they see this Mickey Mouse. If they do exert a character, then this is where your Jaffa comes in on turn 3. Okay, so Mulan does help you draw. Let's just put it here. When you play this character, you can draw and discard, so it digs through your deck, but it didn't make the final card. It's in another version of this deck. Okay, so this Mickey Mouse we have 4 of, and this is a very strong card. Bagheera, Guardian Jaguar, where is it? Okay, so Bodyguard, 5 cost, Inkable, and Quest for 2. During an opponent's turn, when this character is banished, deal 2 damage to each opposing character. So you are forcing them to hit onto your bodyguards, and if they banish this character, they deal 2 damage to all their characters. Very, very strong card. What else is in the deck? I think I missed out one or two cards. So Pluto is also another card that I shortlisted but didn't make the final card. Calhoun as well. At first I wanted to put Calhoun, but then Calhoun prevents your opponents from challenging your characters, right? So exerting rather. So it seems a little bit counterintuitive. Of course, people usually don't exert when they see this Mickey Mouse as well, but some of them, you might surprise some people because they think, oh, this is just a 1/1, I can quest safely, they won't be able to banish, and then you can surprise them with Jaffa. But with Calhoun, you are not surprising anyone, right? So I decided to leave Calhoun out, but who knows, I might put her back in. Okay, what else is there? Simba is also another card because you can draw 1 card. Where is it? Where's the card there? Okay, I think, okay, let me find it. I might have missed it. So the Kronk shift line is something that I put in the deck as well. So because the this Kronk, the 7 cost Kronk, right? Let me put it here, this is bigger. During your turn, when this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character with cost 5 or less for free. So you can play this Goofy for free, you can play Bagheera for free. Everything else, it's not that efficient in the sense that you want to put 5 cost characters, right? But Chip is a good target as well. Jafar, not so much. Louis and Jasmine gives your opponents Reckless, so you can bring them out, give them Reckless, and for free, right? Free is good, always good. Okay, so these are the cards that I've shortlisted for the deck. As you can see, we have 60 characters, 68, 72, 76 cards. So next up is eliminating some cards that you might not need. So Fred, as much as I do like the concept of forcing them to challenge into this, and you gain 2 lore. This is not so much of an aggro deck, so I decided to take him out, even though I do have very little 1 cost cards, right? So of course it takes a lot of testing after that to decide, you know, what you want to put in, what you don't want to put in. So this is sort of like a draft 1 of the deck. Okay, so I do want the Kronk Shift line. Jasmine gives Reckless, so Louis gives Reckless, which is what I want. Jafar helps with building up this Mickey Mouse, so I'm keeping this. So Chip is very good. In maybe future drafts I might put it in, but for this one I didn't. So you want to take out how many cards left? 52, 60. So we need to take out 8 cards, right? Peter Pan, very good to play, but doesn't really fit into the strategy of it. Does, right? You're forcing them to challenge, but you want to make your deck consistent. I know you can do more than 60, but 60 is, I think, the best. So we need to take out 4 more cards. So the actions and songs are somewhat compulsory, right? It's your draw cards. This one plays for free, this one is draw. So in the end I decided to take out this Perilous Maze because this is not really a discard deck. So that makes 48 plus 12, 60 cards, right? So this is the final draft 1 of the deck. So that is usually my thought process when I build a deck from scratch. I decided to make an uncut version, like, you know, 1 row all the way, to let you know what is my thought process. So even though it's longer than what I expected, I hope that helped you. Next up, I want to talk about curve, because one of the biggest mistakes new deck builders make is ignoring curve. Curve is planning what you want to do on turns 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. And more importantly, what are the odds of you executing the plan? Because it's very easy to say, I want to do this on turn 1, I want to do this or this on turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, etc. But being able to do it consistently is a test of your deck building and your skill. So the good thing about online deck builders is you have this curve course. So you can see we have 4 1 cost, 12 2 costs, we have 16 3 costs, no 4 costs, which might be something I will work on in future drafts. I have quite a few 5 costs, 6 costs, but some of it are my shift lines, right? And of course this is your 10 cost Mickey. So you can also see how many uninkables you have, and for mine we only have 12, which is very healthy. Yep, so this is very useful for you if you want to know you have too much of certain cards or certain costs. So for future drafts I might reduce the 3 costs and have some more 4 costs. And of course adjust according to your strategy. For example, if you're playing aggro, you want more 1 to 2 cost cards because you want to go as wide as possible, have as many characters as possible so that you can quest for more. For mid-range, you want more balanced curve. For control, you want more big drops. But of course, you want to make sure that you don't lose to aggro by being too slow. Next up, how many uninkables should you play? I think 12 to 15, 16 is a rather typical number. If your deck has more draw power, you can afford to have more uninkables, and the reverse is true. So once your list is built, it's about testing. Especially for set 5 to 8, you are likely going to lose a lot of games online. So when I play set 5 to 8 decks online, winning is not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking out for is whether I can consistently play the deck as I plan to. If you want a more accurate gauge of how your deck performs against other set 5 to 8 decks, then you have to go to local set 5 to 8 events or playtest with your friends. Here's a heads up, your first draft will usually suck. But don't worry about it, right? That's why it's called a first draft. As you play more, you will understand your deck better and you will know what cards are unnecessary or extra, and you can replace them with better cards. So that was a guide on how I built my decks from scratch, and I hope that it's helpful to you. With so many stores here in Southeast Asia and Singapore doing set 5 to 8 events, get creative with your deck building. Go to all the local events, play more, understand your deck building and decks better so that you can make adjustments along the way. If you found this video useful, remember to drop a like so that YouTube can recommend it to more people. Comment what color combination you are looking to build for sets 5 to 8, and of course subscribe to the channel. With that, thank you for coming to the end of this video. Sending you lots of love. I'll see you in the next one.